Hello and welcome to Writing America, Pages and People. If you're here to learn about an American author and some of their works, then you're in the right place. My name is Rachel Rigolino and I'm an instructor in the English department at the State University of New York at New Paltz. So come on, we'll watch this video and leave some comments below. In 1932, critic J. Donald Adams wrote in the New York Times, quote, "In that remarkable galaxy of talent and genius formed by writers of the contemporary South, no star is more brilliantly ascendant than that of Elizabeth Madox Roberts." That is striking praise. And it may sound a bit surprising now since Roberts is rarely assigned along with, let's say, William Faulkner, Catherine Ann Porter, or Eudora Welty. But during her lifetime, she was a well-respected Southern writer whose novels and poetry reached a large national audience. Elizabeth Madox Roberts was born in 1881 in Kentucky and grew up in a large family. She spent most of her life in Springfield, Kentucky, a region that became the setting and emotional center of much of her fiction. Her characters often lived close to the land, close to poverty, and close to memories. Roberts first attended the State College of Kentucky, which is now the University of Kentucky. But poor health forced her to leave, and she spent years teaching, then moved to Colorado in the hopes that the climate would help her respiratory problems. Her first published book was a poetry collection, In the Great Steep's Garden, released in 1915. Roberts later studied at the University of Chicago, where she became active in the University Poetry Club and met writers connected to Poetry magazine. After earning her degree in 1921, she returned to Kentucky and entered the most productive period of her career. She wrote novels, short stories, and poetry until her death from Hodgkin's disease in 1941. Roberts is best known for her extraordinary 1926 novel, The Time of Man. The novel follows Ellen Chesser, the daughter of tenant farmers, as she grows into adulthood. Ellen's life is shaped by hard labor, family pressure, sexuality, the natural world. Really, it was a great success. Roberts began her career as a poet. I think we should remember that, and her poetic training remained present in her fiction. She wanted poetry and prose to meet as what she called the points where poetry touches life. Her writing pays close attention to sound, memory, physical sensation, and there is this bond between a person's inner life and the physical world. Her other major works include The Great Medal, a historic novel about a pioneer woman traveling from Virginia to Kentucky. Her poetry collections include Under the Tree and Song in the Meadow. And she published two collections of short fiction, The Haunted Mirror and Not by Strange Gods. Now, to me, one of her most revealing stories, because that's what I've focused on her short stories, is The Haunted Palace, first published in 1937 in Harper's Magazine. The story centers on Jess and Hubert, a sharecropping couple who move into an abandoned plantation house called Wickwood. At first, the house seems to offer progress, more land, more space, a better future for them. But for Jess, the house feels like a threat. It once belonged to wealthy people who saw families like hers as inferior. And the rooms, the mirrors, stairways, furnishings, they all carry the weight of that class system. This idea matters in the context of the Great Depression. Tenant farmers and sharecroppers faced deep economic insecurity, and the collapse of wealthy families, the Old South, did not erase old class divisions. So Roberts, I would argue, places Jess inside a symbol of the upper class privilege and asks the question, what happens when a poor woman begins to claim that space? So I will leave it to you to read the story, The Haunted Palace. I think you're going to really enjoy it. And a final note, Roberts may have faded from many reading lists, but she's never been forgotten. And the Elizabeth Madox Roberts Society promotes scholarship on her work, encouraging readers to read her work, and also encouraging faculty to jump into her work and to assign it and to discuss it. So keep in mind the Society holds conferences devoted to Roberts and related writers, and it's really something to check out if you find her work interesting and compelling, which I believe you will. So as you read The Haunted Palace, if you do pick it up, I really encourage it. Think about these questions. What is the real source of the haunting? Is it supernatural? Is the history of the house really kind of overbearing, and is a ghostly kind of vision, maybe demonic? Or is this a psychological piece, Jess's understanding of her own social position and resisting, right? Resisting. Is this the New South, can we say? And what about the end of the story where there's a mirror that's broken? Does it represent liberation, destruction, or perhaps both? So anyway, I'm just so happy to introduce you to Elizabeth Madox Roberts, and please give her a try.